guess so.
All right, on to number 25. We are entering the top half. This will be split up, so yeah, you guys are saying this. Go check out our part 1 video, and let's continue. 25, we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West, artist formerly known as Kanye West.
Yay.
Yay, Sir Yay, Mr. Yay. I'm going to start, because I want to. I fucking love this album. This is one of the greatest hip-hop, pop rap albums, whatever fucking genre you want to call this. It's one of the best of it. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. This is Kanye's best album. I know what Cole's going to say. Fuck you. Just getting ahead of it. He's going to shit talk he's going to shit talk a song on this album. While I don't disagree necessarily with what he says, just because Nicki Minaj is on it does not make it a bad song. So fuck off. No, it does. It has one of the greatest Kanye songs. It has the greatest Kanye song. It has one of the top 10 greatest Kanye songs and one of the top 20 greatest Kanye songs all on this album. It has no real failures except Who Will Survive in America. That's the only thing I don't really love about this album. Besides that, incredible rapping, incredible production, great features, great use of sampling. One of the greatest songs of all time in Power, his best song, his best album. It is straight heat. It is a 10. It is a damn near. It's not a perfect album, but it's damn near it. Cole.
Why is this high? This is like one of the most flawed albums.
So wrong.
There's so much of the production of this thing has aged like milk. It sounds so damn dated at times. Yeah, there's some absolutely incredible moments like Power. It's not his best song, but it is amazing. All the Lights is good. Gorgeous is good. Lost in the World is good. But there's so many issues with this album. I mean, the entire Chris Rock sketch is horrendous. Nicki Minaj is a mistake no matter what she's doing. Everything she does is bad. Songs on here are way too long. There's so many lyrics in here I don't like. Then again, it's not a terrible album. It's just one of the most overrated albums of all time. It's still pretty good though. I think I gave it a 7.5.
Wow. You fucking disappointment.
You already knew this. We did a review on it.
I know, but I never knew you didn't like it that little. All right, Noah.
I probably gave it a higher score here than I did in the review.
I think so. All right, boy, this is a good album with some lowlights though, and I feel like there's a theme throughout this album of the songs going on longer than they need to.
I
Like
just
Monster,
disagree.
So Appalled, Runaway, Blame Game. You could just keep going. Gorgeous.
Runaway is a little long.
Yes, because like the last
Blame
4
Game's not
minutes
that
is him
long.
just
You like the ending of Blame
moaning.
Game, where he talks about a girl's vagina for like 2 minutes?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
it's
like
one of the
good
cringiest
pussy.
moments in the history of music.
Okay.
Yeah. Fucking Yeezy taught us how to press the fucking skip button. Yeah, it's a good album though. Lost in the World fucking blows though. Still, 8.5.
Lost in the World is actually one of the best songs.
That is.
I hate that song.
You
so
are
much.
wrong. Bon Iver kills that.
That song, it's actually Bon Iver.
Bon Iver kills it.
I don't care. Fuck that song. I'll never like it.
All right, who wants to hear me get mad?
What do you get mad about?
You're about to find out. Even though I love this album that we're about to do, number 25, I will say, or 24, sorry, this is a bullshit ranking, Rate Your Music. Then no way is Enter the Wu-Tang better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
It's way better.
In no way is this album better. In any way. None.
In every
Non-rap way, non-artistic way, nothing.
It's way better.
Let me get that out of the way before I start. Now we can continue. All right, who wants to do Enter Wu-Tang first?
I guess I'll go so we can get the negative out of the way.
Okay.
Okay. I don't understand how the rapping in this can be so one-dimensional, but then on an album like Low End Theory, it make it just feel so much better and feel like it's doing so
Well,
much more.
That's
Maybe I
because
just prefer that
Tribe is
genre.
better.
Well, maybe I just prefer that genre. I'm not going to get my opinions out on that because I'm not very well versed in this era of rap. There are some good songs on this album. Cream is a pretty good song. Protect Your Neck
Excuse me,
is a
sir.
nice one too.
It's CREAM.
Whatever. Bring the Ruckus is also quite enjoyable.
You don't like the mystery of chess boxing?
Don't remember it.
Okay.
Like, that's a bit of an issue with this album. I struggle to remember a lot of it because it all just kind of goes together. So in total, I'm feeling a 7.
Wow. All right. Cole.
I mean, this thing is kind of like proto Money Store in a lot of ways, or proto Death Grips, based on like how
angry.
intense. I mean, yeah,
It is
I'm sure it
intense.
was maybe the biggest inspiration for Death Grips was probably this album.
Sure.
I mean, I think they have tremendous chemistry between all the members. I think this. I mean, I really like every song on this album. Really, the only complaints I really have, the skits are eternal.
They are.
The skits
They
are
are.
so fucking long, and sue me if you want, but the skits aren't funny. They're all supposed to be funny. I don't find them funny. The songs way funnier than any skit on here. Way funnier. The songs are hilarious. The skits are boring, tedious, and way too long. But the songs are still incredibly catchy, super fun, have insane lyrics, and just have an amazing energy. And it's kind of rare that you would hear a hip hop album that's like this intense, this hard hitting, that has like piano based instrumentals that are like really catchy and really fun.
Yeah.
And I admire that a lot. I give this a 9 out of 10.
Woo! My goodness, sir. Okay. Well, I kind of agree with you on most of what you said, except I'm also going to take a little bit from Noah here. There is a forgetfulness about this album. There are some songs that do not hit as much as others. I mean, Can It All Be So Simple? What a fantastic use from, by the way, sampled by Kanye and Vultures. Not very
For
long.
2 seconds.
Yes, I didn't say it was very long, but it was a banger sample nonetheless. I liked it at least. But you're right. There are intermissions. The skits are not funny, and I don't particularly love what they were going for in that direction. Cream is a great song. The Mystery of Chess Box is a great song. Protect Your Neck, Part 2, Can It All Be So Simple? All those are great, great songs. Even Ain't Nothing to Fuck With is a good song. All that being stated, the rest of it is kind of forgetful in that way.
Bring the Ruckus is forgettable.
Bring the Ruckus, of course. Absolutely. No.
Shame on an African American gentleman is forgettable. Clan in the front. These are they're so catchy.
No, not
So
on
much
the
fun.
that front. I will say though, that all being stated, I give it a 7.5. Oh fuck. For a variety of reasons, but the main one being that I think it could have been made better. However, it is so extremely influential rap album that influenced arguably some of the greatest rappers of all time. All right, moving on to number 23, we have Kinda Blue, Miles Davis. Now I'll start with this one. Boy, the king is back, and he is. Did this come out before or after In a Silent Way?
10 years before.
All right, so the king starts right here, and he's cooking with the sauce on this one. My goodness, straight hits, no misses. I'm gonna say this is a flawless album. It is fantastic from start to finish. It is the greatest the greatest jazz album.
Kinda Blue is the greatest rap album of all time.
Greatest jazz album I have ever heard in my life. The king of jazz. No, I personally don't believe he ever topped himself after this. He has some very, very close calls though. Straight fire jazz. If you are a fan of jazz or have any like of jazz, you must listen to this album. It is. I mean, I'm sure it's influenced tons of people. I don't know who the hell it would have influenced because jazz really isn't popular anymore.
Fucking jazz artist that's ever lived.
Sure, but jazz is not a popular thing anymore currently. So it's just so much good. This Freddie Freeloader, what a song. I mean, Blue and Green, so well. And Flamenco Sketches, I love those 3 songs. Those are straight 10s, all of them. Everything about this is perfectly done. The production is for the era for 1959 production level on this album. Fantastic. I don't know how that's even possible. There are albums that came out a decade later that sound dog shit compared to this. So, yeah, absolute heat 10. Noah.
All right. Yeah, this is a good album. I do think it is probably better than In a Silent Way. Like it's an album that I never go back and listen to any of the songs on their own, though I think Blue and Green is the best song on the album, and it's very pretty.
Oh,
Ain't it?
Yeah. It's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard.
I'm sure it is. Once again, it's not one of my favorite jazz records, though I appreciate it a lot and respect it a lot. So in total, I think it's an 8.
what?
Yeah, I think an 8 is a negative score.
Whoop, wrong person.
I didn't expect you
enjoy
to.
more.
What other jazz records do you enjoy more?
Oh, we'll get to it.
Curiosity.
All right. Go on, Cole.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the definition of perfection right here.
It damn
like,
well is.
I mean, every note on this album is placed so perfectly. And the fact that it's all basically improvised and he just told them like what keys and moods and tones to work in is absurd. I mean, So What is amazing. I mean, every song is great. But I mean, Flamenco Sketches, along with Blue and Green, are two of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Flamenco Sketches being my favorite song on this album.
Hard to argue with that.
Yeah, I mean, it invented modal jazz, which is one of the biggest subgenres of jazz. I mean, it's just like I don't know what to criticize because there's just nothing to criticize. I mean, it's, in my opinion, the best jazz album ever made by the greatest jazz artist and one of the greatest artists of all time.
Facts on facts.
I mean, yeah, fucking easy 10. Maybe the greatest solo artist ever.
Ooh, no. But it's great. It is absolutely great. All right, moving on to 22. We have Disintegration by The Cure. Noah Stardust.
Really cool album right here. Give me back that track listing. Yeah, Plain Song is extremely pretty. Pictures of You and Love Song, of course. Very well-known songs. Very good. Fascination Street, title track, Lullaby, awesome. The rest of the songs I really don't remember as much because there are some lackluster tracks on the album. Besides that, I really enjoy this album. I like Robert Smith's voice a lot, actually. His lyrics can be a little edgy. Besides that, this is a very cool album. I am giving it an 8.5.
Ooh. Hi. Okay. I guess I'll go next. Listen to this today. Was very weird to start out with, but out of all the albums I listened to today, this is by far the best one. So I'll say that. What is the proper word for being slightly better than good?
Above average.
I feel like above average. I feel like good is above
Above
average.
Above average is lower than good.
And then better than good is great.
Really good?
Okay, fine. It is really good. Look, it's got some absolutely great songs on this, but it does have some downfalls with it as well. Songs like, but the songs that are good, excuse me, are things like Plain Song, I like it, Fascination Street, Prayers for Rain, Lullaby, even Untitled. The way it ends, I quite enjoy it. I believe, what genre is this? This is gothic rock post-punk. Look, the way the guy sings is odd. There's no doubt about it, but I do actually like his voice more than most like albums I've heard on this list, specifically the ones I hadn't heard. I don't know enough about how these songs were made to really describe them. I think you guys can do that better than me. I will just say, out of all of it, it's probably it's a solid 7 out of 10. I just don't know enough about like the genre really to describe what it compares to.
Well, it's the second post-punk album on here.
Okay. What's the other
The other
one?
one would be Unknown Pleasures.
Oh. Well, this beats Unknown Pleasures for sure.
Okay, good stuff.
For sure.
This is a good album. I enjoy it for the most part. There's some very, very, very pretty songs, like Plain Song and Picture of You is pretty good. I think at times it can get, for me, like instrumentally or vocally or lyrically, it can get a little corny at times. I don't love the production on here. Everything's got a lot of reverb. It sounds very reverby and a lot of echo going on here, especially with the percussion, which I just don't love. It's kind of a thing of the post-punk genre that I'm not a big fan of. And the only other complaint I could find is that some of these songs are just too long and they just kind of meander because the vocals, like he finishes the song lyrically and the instrumental just keeps going for like another minute at times. And I'm like, all right, it's nice, but it's not like this fucking good. Like, relax. But still, it's a good album. It's too long, but it is a good
It
album.
is too long.
I gave it a 7 or a 7.5. I don't remember. I gave it a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10. All right. Fair enough. Moving on, we have number 21, Paranoid by Black Sabbath, a classic rock album. Well, I guess so this would be a heavy metal album.
It's a metal album.
Classic heavy metal album. You know what? Cole, go for it.
I mean, I love this album. It's been in my Spotify for years and years and years. I think it's one of the better, maybe the best metal album ever made. I'm not entirely sure what would be in that conversation. I mean, there's obviously some Metallica stuff, but I'm not nearly as big on Metallica as I am on Black Sabbath. Even though I'm not a crazy big metal fan, this is still some great stuff. I mean, War Pig's one of the greatest metal songs of all time, and my personal favorite, Planet Caravan, which is one of my favorite songs ever made. There's really not a bad song on here. Rat Salad's kind of whatever, because it's kind of whatever instrumental, but it's still decent. I mean, there's just so many metal classics on here. So many great metal songs on here. I don't think it's perfect. Tony Iommi can't really solo for much, and the production's a bit like it's a bit amateurish production wise, but still the songwriting is absolutely fantastic, and Ozzy is killing it. I give this a 9.5.
9.5. Wow. All right, I'll go next, unless you want to, Noah.
You got it.
All right. So I'm gonna disagree with a little bit here, Cole. I do think this is the best metal album of all time. I don't think it's actually even.
Say it wasn't.
Well, I don't think it's close. I don't think it's even close at all. This blows away anything by Iron Maiden or Metallica I've ever heard. And I know those are not the only two metal bands. Calm down. I just haven't heard enough metal. So, of the shit I've heard, this blows it away. This has War Pigs, Paranoid, Planet Caravan, Iron Man, Electric Funeral, and Fairies Wear Boots. Everything else on this sucks.
Hand of Doom does not suck.
I do not like Hand of Doom.
It's awesome.
All
Hand of
those
Doom is
songs,
rad.
though, are 8 or above. Minimum. Iron Man being the best on this. Planet Caravan is so heat. War Pigs is fucking fire. I actually think the guitar work on this. The best thing about this is the drums on this album are just so well.
Great drummer.
Great drums. The guitar work could use a little bit, but I'm not going to knock him too much. He didn't have to do much on this album. And Ozzy, boy, man, does he sing well on this. He might not sing well on the rest of his discography, but he fucking nailed what metal should sound like on this. Perfect type of singer for the songs they were making on this. I gave it a solid 9 out of 10. Noah.
Alrighty. This is a good album, though I do not understand why some of the best songs on the album are not as talked about, like Hand of Doom and Electric Funeral. It was right there, my two favorites. I think Iron Man's kind of overrated. Solos are
Shut the fuck
pretty
up.
damn mid.
Shut up.
Warpig's kind of
No, you're wrong.
overstays its welcome. Besides that, I like some a lot. Rat Salad's kind of mid. I'm not big on Planet Caravan as much as Cole is.
That's an
Besides
L
that,
opinion, bro.
This is a good metal album. I do not think it's the best metal album. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow, that's lower than I thought you would give it. Okay. All right. Now, oh God, I did not want to do this one. All right, number 20. We have Vespertine by Bjork. Somebody else go. I don't want to go.
I got you. Okay. What was she trying to do on Homogenic? I think she did it better here. I think this album is very pretty. I wish I could like it all more than I do. I really do. But there's some really good songs on it. My favorite being probably Harm of Will. But it's a really pretty album. Of course, it's a little weird because Bjork's a little goofy gal.
Oh, goofy.
Some of it can get a bit samey, at least for me. I don't really have a ton to say about this album, but I gave it a 7.5.
7.5. All right, you know what? I'll go next. So I will say this. This is kind of a troll opinion that I had before. I actually do like this album a lot. Quite a lot. This is the Bjork that I was talking about, where I heard the whole album. I think this is the first one you told me to listen to, right, Cole?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the first album Cole ever told me to listen to by Bjork. He did not think I was going to like it at all, and I liked it a lot. I really did. I still like it a lot. I think this is the only time her voice has actually worked on an album for the instrumentals that she has, for the way she sings. She's not stressing her voice crazy like she does on the Homogenic. Sorry. The songs are well produced. They have great background effects to her music, or her vocals, sorry. And again, when you listen to Bjork, you're listening for her unique vocal style. Of that, there is no doubt. And in this is the only time I have heard her ever do it successfully. It's a 9 out of 10. Cole.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to lean towards Ryan's camp more here. I think this album is fantastic. I think it's fucking beautiful. It's incredibly ambitious and successfully ambitious as well. I definitely would say this is her best album pretty handily.
Yeah.
I mean, Hidden Place, Cocoon, To Sound to You, Pagan Poetry, Unison. It's just so many damn Aurora, so many damn amazing songs on here.
Fact.
The instrumental one in the middle, Frosty or whatever, how you pronounce it, is a little whatever. But it's not that long, so it can be forgiven. I mean, yeah, I love this album. I think it's great. It's super ambitious and super pretty and really catchy at times too. I give this a 9.5.
Wow, 9.5. Higher than I thought you would go. All right, let's get it over with. Lift your skinny fists like antennas to heaven. Just dick ride each other already. Go ahead.
Why
You
even
two-
continue
you
the
two-
list? Because
you
you've
two-
peaked here. We've peaked musically.
You
Music
two.
has peaked.
Okay.
Why do people even bother making music anymore? It peaked. You're not gonna beat it.
Right.
You two
What
just.
is even the point of trying?
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to say? Like, it's in my opinion the best album that's ever been made. It's this flawless combination of like post rock and drone music with these incredibly interesting field recording samples that are thrown in there. It's literally, it's like a movie, the album, but like the most insane fucking. I mean, it's not like chaotic, but it's so fucking hypnotic and entrancing. And God, I'm pretentious, and God, I don't care because it deserves it. Because this album, this album is pretentious and it's right. All right.
This album needs to be pretentious because it should be.
Pretentious means like you think you're better than everybody else. Well, this
No.
album is better than everybody else. So it should be pretentious because it's right. Because this is just absurd. Like, you can say it's got, like, there's no song on here that's not a masterpiece. And granted, there's only 4, but still, they're all over, they're all like about 20 minutes long, and they're all fucking masterpiece. I mean, I give 3 of these songs a 10 out of 10. Some of the most beautiful, uplifting, and at the same time soul-crushing, devastatingly low, not low isn't bad, just like sad and somber moments I've ever heard in music end up on this album with some of the most uplifting and beautiful moments I've ever heard. It's the easiest 10 I'll ever give. Oh, maybe. I would love for something to beat it. I don't know how it would, but
Yeah.
Is there anything we can even add?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Just a tip to anybody who is getting into music, like wants to create music.
Create music. I was about to say, if you're getting into music for the first time, do not listen to this album. You will hate it.
If you're getting into creating music,
Okay.
give up.
What the fuck?
Fucking stop. We have peaked. We're only going down from here.
Shut up! Shut up! This came out in 2000! This came out in 2000!
Yeah, and I'd give this album fucking 2000 if I could.
Okay, bro. This came out in 2000. This could have been... There are people who out there would say Sgt. Pepper was peak music, okay? And I know you disagree, but there are people out there who say Sgt. Pepper is peak music, okay? So let's not sit there and say, oh, that's not be peak.
Well, this album doesn't exactly have a good morning, good morning. This album is literally just fucking peak life all the way through.
Peak life, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so crazy. You gotta have some patience going into it because, yeah, it's an hour and 27 minutes long, but I don't know of a more rewarding, more satisfying hour and 27 minutes in music. I really don't. I mean, if you can really get what it's trying to do, I think it's absolutely stunning.
I fully agree with everything you guys said. I'll just add one thing to it. While I do not agree that it is the best album of all time, it is definitely a top 5 album of all time. It is absolutely, well, I don't think it's a top 5 album of all time, but it is.
You
top
can
10
obviously
for
debate
sure.
that it's not the greatest album of all time, and I'll listen to some arguments for other albums, but this is just the one that always falls in as like I cannot fathom how good this is.
It is fantastic for what it does, which is a musical masterpiece.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
I have
Number...
something to say
What, you have more?
about Revolver.
Oh, okay. All right. Moving on. Number 18, we have Revolver by the Beatles. What number album is this by them? 5th? 6th?
Something like
6th or 7th.
All
I
right.
mean, the first 4, Help, Rubber Soul. This one should be 7, I think.
All right.
All
It's
right.
kind of
Noah.
part of the first one.
First things first.
Yep.
Can I please not be the only one who gets upset staring at the album cover because like the way George Harrison looks at you.
I actually love the album
This is the
cover.
bottom right. I mean, I think it's
love
kind
the
of a
album
cool
cover.
cover. It's freaky.
Yeah, I
and
love it.
It's a bit upsetting, but it's kind of
Just
cool.
George
At the same
Harrison.
time.
It's freaky
eyes
in the
and lips.
best way possible.
He reminds me of the guy you see in your dreams. You know. Cole knows what I'm talking about. At least Ryan is clueless.
No idea what you're talking about.
All right, now let's actually get into the music. This is a good album with some whole lot of mid in between. Yellow Submarine fucking blows.
Whoa! No!
Yeah.
No!
That song supremely blows.
You
So
blow!
Disgustingly corny.
You're disgustingly corny.
Yellow Submarine is so mid. Good
You're
Day,
mid.
Sunshine's whatever. Dr. Robert blows cock. Gotta Get You in My Life is overrated. I want to tell you. Who gives
What?
a fuck?
Fuck you!
You are
Alright.
not
Monkey
in on
cheese
the ending of this
brain?
album.
No, I am a fan of this album. This said
No,
shit holes out of the way.
I said the end of it.
Oh yeah, no I'm not. But then you have the bangers like And Your Bird Can Sing, Taxman's pretty good, Eleanor Rigby, I'm Only Sleeping, songs like that are very good. Almost peak Beatles, but it's not. But in total, what did I give this album? In total, I am feeling, because I think the good does outweigh the bad, I'm giving it an 8.
Okay. It's a respectable ranking. I disagree with basically not everything you said because I don't disagree with everything, but the song selection you picked out. Fuck your mother with some of those songs. Yellow Submarine is a fucking heater. Gotta Get You in My Life is a fucking heater. Good Day Sunshine is a fucking heater. Just because it's catchy does not mean it's bad.
Well, who said that?
They're fun little ditties that you can listen to whenever you want. It doesn't make it a boring or bad song. Go fuck your mother. Anyway, now, the rest of this. We have one of the greatest Beatles songs of all time. Easily top 5 in Eleanor Rigby. Taxman, Love You Too, Yellow Submarine, Good Day Sunshine, And Your Bird Can Sing, For No One, Gotta Get You in My Life, Tomorrow Never Knows. Every one of those is at least a 9+.
Stop.
There's absolutely nothing about
Every one of those.
Love You Too is just some mid-ass George Harrison ragga rock.
All right, Love You Too is probably like a 7.5. Everything else is a 9+. Okay. Besides all that, Taxman's a great track to start out this. Love Taxman. This album is fantastic. If it wasn't for the Beatles just having such a dominant stretch, and we'll get to that in a minute, but if it wasn't for the Beatles just being so fucking good for at least a few albums here, this would have been probably their best album, but I have to give it a 9 out of 10 for being so well put together and so little interrupts. Absolutely, in my opinion, some of the most entertaining songs the Beatles ever made. Cole.
Bring us back down to earth.
You're retarded.
Kind of in the middle here. I do think it has some of the Beatles' best songs on it, like Eleanor Rigby. I would also say like Here, There, and Everywhere is beautiful. She Said, She Said is really good. For No One is great. I'm Only Sleeping is really good. This album does fall victim to two problems I think the Beatles always had and never really overcame in that one perfect shining moment of an album.
They did.
The main problems are like the guitar tones on the electric guitar tones on this album are wildly inconsistent, and some of them are just bad. I do not like the guitar tone on Taxman. It's just not well recorded. And some of the songs here are pretty corny. Yellow Submarine is fairly corny. It's not horrible, but it's pretty corny, and I'm not really into it. The ending is a bit whatever, but Tomorrow Never Knows is one of my absolute favorite songs on this album. One of my favorite Beatles songs, by the way. Good shit, Caps.
Oh, did they just win?
They just won an OT.
Oh my god, let's go Caps!
Huge.
Wait, I haven't seen it yet!
That's a shame.
Alright, keep going, sorry. I'll mute it.
Yeah, I think there's a few production like I'm Only Sleeping is not particularly well mixed. Although they did come out with a mix a couple years ago that kind of fixed a lot of the blemishes, but you know, from where the album was made, like the production is nowhere near as good as it would get on later albums. I do think this is one of their more consistent track lists here. It's far from perfect. I don't like Love You Too at all. I just don't like Ragga Rock at all. And Good Day Sunshine is just annoying. But
no, it is not.
Good Day Sunshine is the definition of annoying. The chorus is garbage.
Oh, it's such a good hook.
That's a garbage chorus.
Oh, it's a great chorus.
Absolutely garbage chorus. It still does have Eleanor Rigby, Tomorrow Never Knows, Here, There, and Everywhere, I'm Only Sleeping, For No One. I mean, there's just so many great songs on here, so I can't give it lower than anything. I couldn't give it anything lower than a 9. I ended up on a 9.
Thank you! Thank you! Some intelligence!
I could give it
a 1 point difference.
8.5 to a 9.
Just stick with your original intelligent theory. Alright, that is Revolver by the Beatles. Moving on to number 17, A Love Supreme by John Coltrane. I think this is is this their highest rated jazz album they have on here?
No.
It's
Okay.
number 2.
Number 2, alright. Only 3 parts. But yeah. It's
Well, that's
pretty...
not how it looks on Spotify.
No, I know. It's a very weird track listing. Is it just like one?
No, there's like, I think there's like 5 or 6 songs on Spotify.
Oh.
Let me check. Where are you, buddy? There you are. Oh, there's 4 songs on the Spotify.
4 songs. All right. You know what? You go for it, Cole.
This album took me a while to really get a grasp of, but once I did, it's actually very well done. Very impressive musicianship all over this thing. I mean, the drumming is fucking insane, and Coltrane is known for being like just an insane saxophone player who would just play like the craziest shit that had ever been played in the '60s. Um, I think this is a really solid jazz album. I don't really see that it's the masterpiece that a lot of jazz fans say it is, but it's very enjoyable. It's very good. Solid production, great performances. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Very good melodies.
So I am going to go next here, Noah. I want to just say one thing. I think this album fucks. This album fucks in a way that most jazz albums don't fuck. It is so fantastically well made. I actually love the melodies. I think they're fantastic. I love the sax. I love me a good saxophone, and this one brings it out to the extreme. Mr. Coltrane is a fantastic saxophone player. I love this album. I love every second of this album. I think it is fantastic. It is up there with kind of blue level of jazz, just slightly lower. This is a 10. That's all I have to say.
All right. Yeah, this fucks.
It does fuck.
Yeah, this is one of the jazz albums that I do enjoy more than kind of blue, as we were previously talking about. Maybe I'm just more of a saxophone fella compared to trumpet and things like that. But there's just I enjoy the writing on this a lot more. Very elegant, and I think as a whole, it, at least for me, just stands stronger.
I only like Kind of Blue because I feel like it implements more changes throughout the album than this one does. Mm-hmm. It stays a little bit less. I think. I mean, this is a good word. Avant-garde. It kind of doesn't. It doesn't change as much, but.
I mean, this is not avant-garde.
Oh yeah, we'll get to the like avant-garde jazz later.
But, I mean, it maybe it's a little avant-garde, I guess, but.
Well, in total, I'm feeling 8.5.
8.5. Wow, you guys are giving it low grades. The fuck? All right, whatever. Moving on, number 16, we had the Velvet Underground and Nico by the Velvet Underground and Nico. If you guys want to know, Noah, take it away.
Sound genuinely sucks. Lou Reed genuinely sucks.
What the
It's one of the most fucking pretentious pieces of shit I've ever heard. I will never like this. I never want to like this.
Oh, I'm going next.
Even the woman who's singing doesn't even sound good.
We going.
This album fucking blows. I'm feeling a 4.
That might be the most disgusting thing you have said in a year.
That album sucks, Kyle.
Oh my! I'm going to fuck you. First of all, fuck you. Second of all, fuck you again. Third of all, this album fucks. Okay, Lou Reed is fantastic, and you're retarded for having that opinion. He's one of the best singers on this. Well, I should say. Let me rephrase that. I like the way he sings quite a lot. Okay, he might not be one of the best singers of all time, but I like the way he sings. Far. I didn't say he was. I stopped myself. Okay, I like the way he sings quite a lot. I like the way he plays on this album quite a lot. It fucks. I like at least at minimum half of the album. Just like I think half the album is at least a 9 or above.
Nothing on this album fucks, and nobody who listens to this album fucks.
And for the record, I would not put anything on this album except maybe the Black Angels Death song below a 6.
You'd listen to Heroin.
Oh yeah, I love Heroin. I have it liked on my. I have it on my playlist. Everything.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's fantastic. This album fucks, and this spawned so much. I know it spawned so much Coke and go more in depth about all the bullshit, extra shit that I don't know about. But this album fucks. Lou Reed fucks. The only thing that doesn't fuck about it is when Nico's on and ruins this. When she comes on, I'll give you that. I will give you that. She can ruin some songs, or at least bring them down a lot. When Lou Reed is on, I'm pounding my dick because it's fantastic. Love this shit. It is an 8.5.
Jesus Christ.
Cole, go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not really seeing.
There we
your
go.
point here.
Intelligence.
I kind of love this album.
I will
Um,
never love it.
No, it's like,
I
I
mean,
hate white people.
it took me a while to come around on this album. I always thought it was like,
First
I mean,
fucking listen, baby!
I
It took me almost
still,
5 years.
I still think that it is a bit overrated because so many massive music fans think that this is the greatest piece of art ever conceived. By
No, I'll give you
human
that.
beings.
For what
Which
they call
is
it,
too
it's
much.
a little overrated. You're right.
Like this is the greatest debut, it's the greatest album, and they go a bit overboard. It certainly is one of the most influential albums of all time. I mean, it basically invented every interesting genre of music that would come after it. So I would give it tons of credit for the influence, and I do really love a lot of the music on here. I mean, Sunday Morning is beautiful. I honestly just wish it was longer. And I get that a lot of people are turned off by the super raw aesthetic of this album, production wise, but I mean, once you get used to it, you don't even really notice it anymore. It's just a lot of really good melody writing and really good songwritings, some great vocal performances. I'm not crazy about Nico. She's kind of whatever to me vocally.
She kind of does ruin some songs, I won't lie.
I think there's some great lyrics on here. I think there's some. I mean, it basically invented. I mean, it basically invented like alternative music, art rock, art pop. Basically invented punk rock with "I'm Waiting for the Man" and "Run, Run, Run." I mean, the influence cannot be understated. The ending gets a bit much for me, but I mean, I do love the song "Heroin." I think that's an amazing song. It's probably my second favorite song on this album. Yeah, I mean, the first half is like damn near flawless. I gave this album a 9 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah!
Disappointing.
Now we're fucking right with a good shit!
And
Very
it's not even the only
good.
Velvet Underground album that I'm a fan of.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard anything else, but now we.
The controversy part of this fucking list.
Oh yeah, now we fucking with a hot sauce. Now we're talking, and we're about to get even better, baby.
It's
All
not gonna
right.
get. It's not gonna get more controversial.
Should I just go again?
Go ahead, Noah. This is Illmatic, number 14, I think, 15 by Nas. Go
This
for
album
it.
is alright.
Oh!
Why can't music, all the rap music like this, be like Tribe Called Quest?
Oh my fucking
God.
god. Because they're not all made by a group?
Hold on. This isn't even the same subgenre as Tribe
No,
Called
it's
Quest.
not.
Like,
It's just
it
straight
It doesn't
hip
sound
hop.
anything like it.
It's just
And
straight
I
hip
don't-
hop.
And I don't really care for it much. It's not bad. Trust me, it is not bad. No, there's no song on this album that's bad. There are some good songs. New York State of Mind and The World Is Yours are good songs. I just do not mess with it as much as pretty much everybody I've heard talk about this album.
You're
I
wrong.
give it a 6.5.
Oh my fucking god, the autism. Alright, no, I gotta defend my boy. This is the greatest debut album in the history of music. Fact.
Stop.
Number
It's
one.
kind of true.
It is absolutely the greatest debut album. It has fire from beginning to end. The only track that is really not worth adding to your playlist, or really to anyone's, is I gotta find it. Let me make sure I have the right one. Where is it?
One Time for Your Mind's not that mind.
Yes, One Time for Your Mind. Thank you, Cole. One Time for Your Mind is really the only song worth not adding. Everything else about this album fucks. It is straight East Coast hip hop. Now, if you want to go more into that, you can talk about all the other subgenre bullshit I have on there. I don't give a fuck. It is hip hop. It was probably one of the most influential hip hop albums, if not the most influential hip hop album ever made. It created the genre of like that type of music, which is just what hip hop sort of became for the next decade or so, which was incredible. Even Jay-Z was scared of this album, and he was an enemy of Nas. So that tells you everything you need to know. It is incredible, from New York State of Mind to The World Is Yours to Halftime. Represent, it ain't hard to tell. The Genesis opening. 10.
Well,
That's all I
yeah,
gotta say.
I do agree that this is probably the greatest debut album of all time. I think it's the only debut album that I give a 10 out of 10 to. I mean, I think In My State of Mind is among like the 3 to 5 best hip hop songs ever made. And The World Is Yours, I would also say, is a 10 out of 10. I think that both those songs are 10s.
They are.
I mean, there's really not a lull in the track list. There's just like maybe a song or two that's just like not quite a masterpiece, but everything else is just like incredible. I mean, the beats are amazing, the production's fantastic. Nas's lyricism is ridiculously good, especially considering the fact that he wrote this album when he was fucking 17.
Yeah, he was like young
Which
as
is
shit.
Absurd to be that young.
And you know what?
on this album.
I will say one thing about this. Sorry to interrupt. I will say one thing about this. He did not get any better than this. I guess. There was like he it's and granted hard to top when your opening is considered the greatest opening album of all time, debut at least. But he didn't get any better. But he really did need to, considering this is a top 5 hip hop album of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say it's my third favorite, and probably what I would say is like the third best hip hop album of all time.
I think I have it at number 5 on my personal list.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a 10.
Hell yes! Finally getting some not logic in this bitch. Knowledge. All right.
Logic will never be on this list.
Okay.
Fucking garbage can.
All right. Now we on to number 14, The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady by Charles Mingus. Another jazz. Oh, this is jazz album.
Yep.
Okay. Another jazz album. Can I start?
Sure.
I fell in love with this album. I had not heard it until yesterday, I believe. And I immediately fell in love with this fucking album. This doesn't look right. What is all this? No, this is right. From the start to the finish. I mean, the medley, which I didn't know there was this many names for it. Okay, that's weird. It's just called Medley on Spotify. But from the start to the finish, the medley, which I believe is the best song on here, or Solo Dancer, which is my number 2. They are fantastic. They go through multiple stages of jazz. I mean, is that the avant-garde part? Is that why it's called that? I don't know. Okay, it goes through multiple stages of jazz music. It blends so many different instruments. It takes you in different melodies, different tempos. It's fantastic. I love all that it does in that way. I didn't know who this guy was. I'd never heard of him in my life before yesterday. Fantastic. Love that I heard it. And I will say, besides all that, I have no real else place to put it except a solid 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Whoever wants to go next can.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite jazz album. I took my sweet time listening to this. I had known about it for probably about almost a year before I actually listened to it.
Wow.
It is really good. And there's this one reoccurring melody that comes throughout the entire album. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is genius.
So good. So good.
Entrancing. It is great. The only thing is some songs can lose direction at points, but that doesn't happen for very long, I feel, so I don't think it's that much of an issue. I like every song a lot. The only one I really that was a little bit whatever was probably the duet solo dancers. Besides that, I really like some. I give it an 8.5.
Wow. A little lower than I thought you'd give it for what you praised. All right. Cool.
I agree. Most of y'all said. I mean, this is an amazing album. I love it. Honestly, the second track might be my favorite one. Y'all fucking bashed it.
I didn't bash the second track. I never said anything
joke.
about the second track.
Relax.
Well, he said he was talking about the first one. I kind of asked the second one.
It was a joke. Yeah, I mean, the way that he really constructs melodies on this album is pretty wild, considering how much stuff is going on and how well this album is produced, considering the time it was made. I mean, 1963 for this album to sound as clear and as crisp as it does is pretty wild. Yeah, it just sounds like you really went all out for this one. There's not much else to say about it. I give this a 9.5 out of 10.
Hell yeah! Let's go! That's a banger rating! Okay.
Okay.
Alright, on to number 13. We have The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars by Mr. David Bowie. I believe this is the only Bowie album on this list, correct?
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Sorry, Cole.
Weird pick.
So much.
Yeah, I wish it was low too. It is what it is. Cole, you know this album better and you know this album better than anyone. Go for it.
Well, this is a masterpiece right here.
Wow.
And the fact that it's only what I would consider to be Bowie's third or fourth best album is just a testament to how fucking brilliant David Bowie is, or was, I guess. I mean, this along with like The Money Store and another album we'll get to later is one of the catchiest albums I've ever heard in my life. The only thing that really stops this from being a 10 out of 10, in my opinion, is I wish some of these songs were a little bit longer. Like Rock and Roll Suicide, I wish that was like at least 30 seconds longer. And like the production isn't anywhere near as good as it would be on albums that would come after this, like Station to Station, Low, and Heroes, because those albums are like the absolute peak of production in music. This album still has good production, it's mixed very well, but some of the tones, like the drum tones, just are not anywhere near as good as they would end up being on later albums. But still, this is an amazing album. It's incredibly consistent, it's extremely fun, super catchy. I mean, every performance is perfect. I'm feeling a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, Noah.
Yeah, I like this album a lot. Very cool. And yeah, it is probably like, at least for me, probably his second best album. Yeah, a lot
would
of
agree with
good
that.
songs.
Actually, no, I would say Station to Station, but continue.
I like almost every single song on this album. I'm not a big fan of Suffragette City and Hang On to Yourself and It Ain't Easy. But besides that, I like this album a lot. It's, like Cole said, a very catchy album. And, you know, for Bowie, just fucks pretty hard. I don't consider Bowie to be an artist that makes music that fucks.
So we're gonna give it a
think he fucks.
123,456,789 out of 10.
That's
No.
a big score.
What about
No. But yeah, he doesn't fuck. He tucks you in, kinda, usually. That's the way of putting it, but yeah, this fucks. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Oof. Kind of gonna be splitting the gap here a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I will be kind of going with an 8 out of 10. I do like this album. I do think it is a little overrated by especially Bowie hardcore Bowie fans. I don't think it's as good as they think it is. Its highs are high, its lows are low. I don't agree with what Noah said. I do like Suffragette City. I think that's a very catchy song. I do like Lady Stardust. I think It Ain't Easy and Starman are both absolute bangers, and those are high highs. But then things like Hang On to Yourself, Rock and Roll Suicide, Moon Age Daydream, and 5 Years and Soul Love. I don't fuck with those very much at all.
You just mentioned the two best songs of the album.
Yeah,
No, the best song of this album
5
is
years.
right here, my friend.
No, the fuck it's
Right here.
That's like 7th.
That or
The first
Starman.
4 are the best songs. Those are the best songs.
It's
The
either
first 4.
Starman or
Those
Suffragette
and the title
City.
track.
It's absurd. 5 Years,
No,
Moon Age Daydream,
no.
Starman, and Soul Love are clearly the best
But-
songs in this album.
The highs are very high to the point where the lows aren't even very low. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I just think it's it is, when it's catchy, it's very catchy, and when it's not, it's like not too catchy, not catchy to the point where it's like not good. So the lows are good, the highs are great, but there are more lows than highs. So
There are not more lows than highs.
I think there are.
Then why would you give it a positive rating?
Because I think the highs are very, very high, and the lows are not very low.
Okay, phrased it weird.
All right. Remain in Light at number 12 by Talking Heads. Which of you two autists wants to do this one?
Well, I probably should go last.
All right, Noah.
Yeah, this album, this grooves. Doesn't fuck it grooves. Oh, at least the first half grooves.
That's true. That's the most true thing you've said today.
Well, it's true because it intentionally changes. Intentionally starts going for a different vibe. Yeah, like songs like, let's see, Cross-Eyed and Painless, Born Under Punches, Great Curve. Like, basically the entire first half is perfect to me. I like this album a lot. The second half still needs to do some growing on me. Still think it's good. But in total, I am feeling a 9.
Woo! 9 out of 10. All right. Pretty much going to back up what you said before. It is definitely a first half winded, especially when the change of pace happens after Once in a Lifetime. I do like Houses in Motion, though. I think that is a good to either great song on this album, but the rest of it, don't care about at all. I mean, David Byrne is a unusual singer, to say the least. He has a very unusual style. Yeah, he's a little weird. But he has some catchy-ass songs, and there's no denying that. Born Under Punch is extremely catchy. Once in a Lifetime, arguably one of their best songs. Extremely catchy. It does not have their best song on this album, which is a little unfortunate, but I really do... I enjoy the album for what it is, and one of the weirdest covers I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it looks like somebody ripped their faces off. It's very odd to look at it from a distance, but besides that, I think it's a very catchy album. Extremely high fun, a lot of fun, and yeah, I give it 8 out of 10. All right, Cole, take it away.
There are like 10 to 15 albums that I can really say that I am just completely and utterly obsessed with. And this is one of those albums. Oh my god. Every fucking moment of this is just absolute perfection. The first half of this, I mean, the first 4 songs, because this album is like, I mean, the way they did the vinyl is super weird. Like, only the first 3 songs from the first side of the vinyl doesn't make any sense at all. But the first 4 songs on here are some of the most fun songs that I've ever heard in my life. Born Under Punches being my favorite song, with Once in a Lifetime probably being objectively the best song here. I mean, Cross-Eyed and Painless, The Great Curve are just, I mean, it's absurd. The level of experimentation that they went to while also maintaining some of the catchiest songwriting I've ever heard in my life is just, like, it's fucking rude to make music that good. And then the second half is fucking awesome. I love the second half of this album. It's got one of my favorite songs on it, The Overload. One of my absolute favorite songs on this album. I could never say enough good things about this album. I'm obsessed with learning things about how they made this album, with Talking Heads and Brian Eno producing it, as well as helping them write parts of it. This is easily one of my favorite albums ever made. Probably in the top 5. Probably top 5, maybe top 3 favorite albums of all time. One of the easiest.
Take a look at these hands.
I absolutely love the lyrics on this thing. They're incredible. David Byrne is one of my favorite vocalists of all time. He's absolutely manic, and I'm just completely addicted to this album in every way.
Taking a look at these hands.
Absurdly easy 10.
Wow.
One of the greatest albums I've ever heard.
A little bit of a stretch there, Buckaroo, but
it's right. Honestly, it's too low on this list, on Rate Your Music's list. It's too low.
It's a little high, honestly.
It's way too low.
All right, moving on. Abbey Road at number 11 by the Beatles. Ow. How is this number 2 for 1969? What the fuck do they have a number 1? Oh, get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Oh my god. We'll get to that one later. Anyway, Abbey Road, the Beatles. I want to start. This is a fucking album.
It is.
That, you know what? I have no argument with that statement. This is in fact an album.
So
there's no debate.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something, boys? Out of every song on this album, you know, there's a lot, 17 of them, right? I only have 2 not liked. Something and Her
You don't have
Majesty.
Something Like?
I do not. Oh no, sorry, I read that wrong. Sorry,
Something's the best
Maxwell
song
Silver Hammer. Sorry, I'm looking
Something
at
is
it.
the best song on the
Yeah,
album.
I know. I wouldn't know. Maxwell Silverhammer and Her Majesty are the only two songs I like. This is the best Beatles album, and it is easily the best Beatles album. It is a 10 out of 10. There is no flaw in this album except the Majesty, which is a small flaw, but it doesn't really matter. Everything in this album is fantastic. Paul McCartney is fucking fantastic on this album. So is John. And I love the fucking medley, amazing. I love Octopus's Garden. I love Oh Darling. I love I Want You. I love Here Comes the Sun. So, I mean, just and this right here, just this stretch. Fantastic. And then Carry That Weight as the end of that little medley.
The end is the end of the medley.
Well, I'm talking about like the little 3-song stretch of like a minute long, or the 4-song stretch of like a minute long, but whatever, fine, the end. But this might be the best song on the entire album. It might just be. It's either that or Something or Octopus Garden. Whatever it is, there is zero real problems with this album. I mean, you could argue about Maxwell Silverhammer to you. I don't care about this song. It's not bad. It's not good. I just don't care about it. This song is a hidden track. It's 25 seconds and it's not really anything.
It's right there.
I know, but it literally says hidden track on it. So it's 25 seconds. I don't really even count it. If you want to count those two things against it and you want to hold that against this album, fine, you can. But I don't see any point. It's a solid 10. It's a perfect album. I fucking love it. And it is the greatest pop album ever made. Pop rock album ever made. Sorry, pop rock album. All right. Whoever wants to go next.
Or
Right, yeah,
you want me to take it?
I'll lay it down gently.
Okay.
All right, get us to that track list.
Yeah.
As you can see, there are a couple blemishes. Mean Mr. Mustard is there because is there. Talking Pimp is there. Everything else is quite good. I Want You, She's So Heavy is overrated.
Fuck you.
There are some issues here. Oh, Darling's kind of whatever.
There are no issues here. Oh, Darling is a banger.
Yeah, you're like, I can't tell if you're 12 or 82. Fucking, I love you, Submarine. No, Darling. But then everything else on this album is fucking perfect and amazing. So it's a bit of an issue. But in total,
There is no issue. It's fantastic.
They really, really got so close to making a perfect album, didn't they?
They did.
I mean, if you don't count this song right here, it's a perfect album.
Well, good. Well, too bad you can't do that. 9 out of 10.
It's not even the weakest song of the album.
That's true.
It is the weakest song on the album by far.
No, it's not. The weakest song on the album is clearly Because.
Shut the fuck.
Because the world is.
Let me just say this first. I think this album is a masterpiece, and objectively speaking, I would say it's the best Beatles album. However, I do not believe that the Beatles ever came together and made a 10 out of 10
Oh my
album.
fucking
Right
god.
now. Came together right now?
What?
No, nothing. Bad pun.
Yeah, you made
because
it.
they're
You
saying
said
came together.
Yes.
Yeah, I realized that after I said it. I just didn't want to address it, but it was just flying under the radar. Like, ah, shit, that was stupid. Anyway, I mean, yeah, it sounds to me, honestly, like there's 2 medleys on this album, with going from, I guess, from You Never Give Me Your Money to She Came Into the Bathroom Window, I would count as one medley. And then, because there's a clear stop after Window, and then they start up again with Golden Slumbers and go through until the end, which I would count as the second medley. And the second medley, I think, is one of the greatest things the Beatles have ever written. One of the greatest things ever written in music history.
So true.
I mean, the second half of this album to me is essentially as perfect as music really gets in terms of like pop, art rock, and art pop music. It's from You Never Give Me Your Money all the way to Her Majesty. I actually kind of like Her Majesty. I just think that's absolutely flawless songwriting and pop music songwriting with a lot of art pop and art rock thrown in there just for added, brilliance. The first half starts out incredibly strong with Come Together and Something, which are 2 of the best albums on this 2 of the best songs on this album. Then it kind of gets a bit inconsistent. I don't really like Maxwell Silverhammer. I think that song is a little bit corny. Oh Darling is a solid song. The lyrics aren't particularly fascinating, but it is a great performance by McCartney vocally.
It is.
Octopus's Garden is a bit... It's kind of fun, endearing silliness, but it's not like a song I want to hear a lot, just because I don't think Ringo's a particularly good songwriter or lyricist. But as far as Ringo songs go, that is one of the better ones, and it's not like I don't think it's bad. It's just kind of not nearly on the same level as something like Something. I Want You, She's So Heavy. You'll never convince me that the guitar tone.
It is so fucking good.
The opening riff of the song, the guitar tone on that riff specifically, sounds like absolute ass cheeks to me. I think it's
wrong. You're
horrendous
wrong.
guitar
it is
tone.
A great riff.
I also think the song lyrically is really boring. I get that not every song needs to be fucking brilliant lyrically, but you could try a little bit and not just write 3 boring lines and then call it one of your longest songs. I just think you could have put more effort into the lyrics. And I also think for as long as it is, it doesn't really go anywhere interesting. Nothing particularly fascinating happens on it. I do love the bass playing on that song. The bass playing is fantastic.
Thank you for mentioning that.
But great bass line on the song. The rest of the song, there's
tell me that's not one of the catchiest riffs of all time.
I mean, the riff is good. It's just the guitar tone, I think, sounds so damn squawky and annoying.
But
it sounds so underproduced.
Squawky in a good way.
For an album they put so much work into in the production, which this is definitely the most well-produced album by the Beatles, in terms of mixing at least, but it still falls victim to the fact that the Beatles, throughout their discography for me, very rarely ever came through with a great guitar tone, which is confusing to me considering it's not hard to get a great guitar tone, but George Harrison, for some reason, just does not pick guitar tones that I like very often, and I Want You to Be So Heavy is an example on that opening guitar riff. I like Here Comes the Sun. I think it's a pretty overrated song. I don't think it's the absolute masterpiece that a lot of people do, and I straight up do not like anything about the song because I think the lyrics are stupid as hell, and I don't like the melody of it at all, and I really do not like the tone of the synthesizer that opens the song. Other than those complaints, I think the album is absolutely fantastic.
Other than running through every song on the album.
I did not go through every song. First of all, I call the second half of the album flawless songwriting. That's true. Absolute masterful. Pure brilliance. It's just those few technical issues that I have and the song because I just don't like it. But yeah, I think the album's a masterpiece and I give it a 9.5.
The fact that you don't give this album a 10 will be
wild. You magically like the song because and liking that
because
shitty
it's good.
guitar tone.
Yes, because it's good.
It's so stupid.
All right, we have entered
because the world is round, it turns me on. That was the dumbest lyric John Lennon ever wrote. What the fuck is that lyric, Lennon? That is so fucking stupid.
All right, well, it kind of showed a little bit of his weird side. You're right. All right, entering the top 10. Finally, we are on "Dark Side of the Moon" by Pinkus Floydus.
Pinkiest of all the Floyds.
Pinkiest of all the Floyds. Noah, break it down.
I will break it down. This is really close to a perfect album.
Isn't it?
But sadly, there is On the Run.
Isn't there?
It is there. And Speak to Me, but that, who fucking cares? So yeah, every song on this thing is almost perfect. Time is perfect. Brain Damage and Eclipse, to me, are perfect. S&M is also pretty damn close. Perfect. In total, this album is a very respectable 9.
9. Alright, fair enough. I'll go next, let you go at last. I like this album quite a lot. I think it is the third best Pink Floyd album that they have. There are some people think it is
right
the...
there.
What, is that a hot take?
No.
Oh.
Kinda.
I mean, there are people who think it... There are a lot of people who think it's the best album by Pink Floyd.
I mean, most Pink Floyd fans would have this and Wish You Were Here as 1 and 2.
Yeah. I think this is number 30. I really do enjoy pretty much every song on this, minus which is the one I don't like. Hold on. Uno 1 Secondo. Sorry.
If this guy says us, and then I'm gonna leave the call.
The Great Gig in the Sky. That's the one. but
On
it
the Run.
what?
On the Run really hits you. Is something interesting.
I mean, it's whatever. It's nothing
Breaking in
special.
the Sky is a lot better than On the Run.
I do like both. I don't. It's just like compared to Love, right? So, we're talking big leagues here versus the minors. All right, get her fucking right. So anyway, moving on. But it ends in one of the coolest ways possible with Eclipse. I think that song is fantastic. It has what, in my opinion, is still the best or second best Pink Floyd song of all time in Money. Fantastic song. It has Time, which is an absolute banger. It has Breathe, which is an absolute banger. And Eclipse, which is just fucking heat. And it's weird. It's a weird rock album. It's progressive rock, psychedelic rock taken to the extreme with some of the most odd sounds a guitar could ever make possible. And you gotta love it. It's an absolute banger. And I gave it a... Now I can't find my fucking rating. A 9 out of 10. Cole.
It was a very long period of my life where I would have said that this was like one of the greatest albums ever made. I had it at number 2 at some point. It's like, oh, it's totally the best Pink Floyd album. But upon further analysis, if On the Run wasn't here, it would probably be a 10. But On the Run has no business being 3 minutes and however long it is. Like, it's just way too long. Outside of that, this album is fucking brilliant. I mean, Time, which is one of the greatest Pink Floyd songs, and one of the better songs ever made. Us and Them, which is absolutely mesmerizing. I think the ending kind of medley they do with Brain Damage and Eclipse is fucking brilliant. I absolutely love Breathe. I would call this really more space rock than prog rock, I guess. It just feels like more of that genre. Especially compared to what they would do after this. Feels much more proggy. I'm not really sure space rock ever gets any better than this. I love the lyricism here. Yeah, I'm feeling a 9.5 here.
Whew, whew. Just eating those damn near misses up, aren't you? All right, number 9, we have Loveless by My Bloody Valentine. A shoegaze noise. Oh, this is shoegaze? And dream pop? Oh my god. All right, let me go first. Okay, I have been severely misled. This is by Bamboozled, Led Astray, Run Amok, and Flat Out Deceived. Anyway, I do not like this genre of music, except for this album, which is the easily the best dream pop, shoegaze, noise pop, neo psychedelia album of all time. Ethereal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's dark, it's gloomy, it's weird, it hits every emotional subject that it tries to, and it fucking slaughters it. The singing, which is behind the only bad thing about this album, the only thing preventing it from being a 10 is the singing is so faded behind the instrumentals that you can't really hear a damn thing they say. If you could, it would be a fucking 10. It would be a 10. But you just can't. And it's unfortunate because you have to look up the lyrics, and even then you're like, okay, I guess that's what he's saying, but I don't really know. I love the instrumentals throughout this album. I love each track the instrumentals have. There's really not any bad song on this. It's a little repetitive, but it's cool. It's so cool to me that I don't even care about the repetitive nature of it. It is a 9.5.
Wow.
Noah.
This is an album I really wish I could love more. Because it is really cool. But something about it just doesn't hit me as hard as other dream pop shoegaze albums.
Oh, this smacks it out of the fucking park.
I disagree. It does get a bit repetitive, but I do not think there are any bad songs on the album. Total, it's an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Loveless?
Yep.
Cole.
I'm gonna go a little bit in the middle, but more so closer to Ryan here.
Let's go.
I love this album. I think it's great. That's a lot of guitars, ain't it? There's
Ain't a
just
lot of guitar.
so
Oh
many
my
guitars
God,
just
I
layered
love
and
the amount
layered.
of
It's creating almost this just haze of noise. These just walls
It's
of
just
noise.
it's like
On
vibrating.
songs like Only Shallow or To Hear Knows When or When You Sleep. Only Shallow would probably be my favorite song on this album.
I
'Cause
do-
those drum fills are insane.
I don't quite know why they filtered the voice so much. I wonder what it would have sounded like with like such a less filtered voice.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, everything is so distorted that
Yeah.
it takes you a minute to really like figure out
I-
what's happening in the mix wise. But once you've heard
That's
it enough
true.
times, you can kind of pick the things out better.
And maybe the
At least I
voice
can.
works with the distortion of it because the voice is distorted and it kind of seems like everything is like distorted around you. You're just surrounded by chaos.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some absolutely beautiful moments on here, like on Only Shallow or When You Sleep, and some pretty wicked guitar tones on here. And just makes for a really interesting album experience that you can't get to this level in really any other place. The song Touched is kind of dumb. It's just like a minute of like a weird kind of shitty guitar tone that I don't really like.
Okay.
Um, Other than that, it's mostly hits along the way. Maybe one or two songs that aren't quite as good as the rest, but still really good album. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah. Now we're fucking talking. Okay. Oh god.
Hi.
Number 8. Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick
Okay.
Lamar. No, I go first.
Man, this album is quite baller.
Isn't it?
No
It
shit.
is.
No
You know,
fucking shit.
there are some things on this album that could improve, like removing Drake.
Oh my fucking
But this album also has some of my favorite Kendrick songs, like Sing About Me, and of course, Bitch Do Not Kill My Vibe.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
I really like this album a lot, but it just falls a little bit short of that perfect score.
Shut the fuck up.
You're acting like it's a bad thing that's almost perfect.
Yes,
Also,
you're
not enough.
wrong. What is it?
Not enough.
So fucking stupid. You're so fucking stupid. Okay, I'm going next. Because I've heard Cole's opinion on this so many times. I want to fucking blow my brains out.
So
These two
listen.
people are
Dramatic of
both
that.
retarded. Okay.
You're getting so heated over a
Yes!
1 point differential.
Yes, because it's so clear and obvious. Okay.
It's not.
This album is flawless. Okay.
Nope.
It is a perfect album. Kendrick's best album. Backs all things I just stated. First off. Second off. I don't care that Drake's on this. Poetic Justice is a fucking heater. Okay? It is a fantastic song. Even with Drake on it, doesn't change how good it is. Every single song on here, except part of, where is it? Well, no, not Money Trees. Real. That's it. I always get this one.
God,
I always forget.
You are dying of thirst.
No, I love that song. Every single part of this except Real, and only like 2 to 3 minutes in Real, is fucking fantastic. It is pure West Coast hip hop, pure rap, pure lyrical genius masterpiece. Amazing flow changes throughout the entire album. Some he goes forward, some he goes fast, some he goes slower, some he breaks it down, goes story. You can really understand the lyrics. Some he makes it into a bit more of a almost trap type beat in a way. Some he goes a little bit like in Swimming Pools. He makes it like a chorusy type of song where it's all about the hook. Some he goes hard like with Mad City, and he's just giving you breaking down bar for bar for bar with layers upon layers of amazing lyrics. And then you got Art of Peer Pressure, which is and Backseat Freestyle, which are just story songs, beautifully done story songs. All of it's fantastic. This is one of the easiest 10s I've ever given. And now for the other retard.
I hardly see how these are like these aren't even far opinions from what you said. Like they're really close. She might be overreacting slightly.
I'm well
Um,
aware you guys love the album. I'm just saying I can't believe this is not a clear and obvious 10.
I think this album is a masterpiece. I think it's one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made. Um, I mean, everything that they've said positive about it, I wholeheartedly agree with. I just think you could pretty much cut Drake's I mean, I like Poetic Justice as a song, but I just don't like Drake's part specifically in it because his lyrics are boring, and Drake is boring. I also think the song Compton just doesn't need to be on the album. I don't even see the purpose. It's just like it's just kind of pointless to me. I think it's definitely like the worst chorus on this album by a lot. I think Real is definitely too long. It's 7.5 minutes. It does not need to be that long. But then again, you get fucking Shireen, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Backseat Freestyle, Art of Pure Pressure, Money Trees, fucking M.A.A.D City, which I don't think there's a better hip hop song that's ever been written than M.A.A.D City. Swimming Pools and Sing About Me, which are just, like M.A.A.D City and Sing About Me are just two of the greatest hip hop songs, two of the greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. M.A.A.D City is probably being like a top 10 song ever made, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, the highs are some of the best highs in music history. There's just, I mean, I just don't like the song Compton. Real's too long, and Drake's verse is kind of stupid. That's the only complaints I have. Feeling a 9.5 feels too low.
It
So
is.
like 9.75.
Okay. Can I just say one thing to all you rate your music nice fellas out there? You're retarded for the ranking that you have given this. The fact that this is
You're mad at them for calling it the eighth best album of all time?
no, I'm mad at this right here.
Why are you mad at
As
that?
much as I love this album, and I do, we'll get to this in a second. This is better, and I'm sorry. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but it is. Okay, moving on. Number 7, we have Kid A by Radiohead. You know what, Cole? Just go for it.
Well, I believe that this is the best Radiohead album.
I disagree.
No shit. I think that this is. Apparently, it's not clear to everybody else, but I think this is. To me, it's pretty clear that this is their most consistent album. It's their most successfully creative album. It's their most ambitious album. That's like good ambitious. Amnesiac's pretty ambitious too, but it's not nearly as good. Um, I mean, I think the track list is perfect. I think it's got some of Radiohead's best songs on it. It's got my favorite Radiohead song on it. I think the production is mind blowing. I think the songwriting is incredible. And none of the other things about pretty much every. I mean, there's just other things about every other Radiohead album that I can find an issue with, but there's really nothing here that I can complain about. And the highs are so absurdly high. And the level of ambition that they pulled off on this album is insane. Well, still being, I think, really catchy, really interesting, and really fun, even though it's a fairly dark album. But there's still some really fun moments on here, and I just think this is absolutely brilliant from start to finish. I'm feeling a 10.
Damn.
That's a 10.
I had him. All right. Oh, Noah, sorry.
Alright. Oh man, I really wish I liked this album a whole lot more than I did too. I don't know, man. I just don't find this album very interesting. Except for a few songs, like Everything is Right Place and How to Disappear Completely and Motion Picture Soundtrack. The rest of it is kind of meh for me. I like when Radiohead it mixes their use of guitar and synthesizers. But it's still a good album. It is a 7.
7 out of 10 for Noah. Okay, so I like Kid A, just like Noah does. I do not think it is their best album. I do enjoy parts of this album, like Optimistic, Idiotech. Is it Idiotech?
Yeah.
Okay, Idiotech, Motion Picture Soundtrack, and I actually don't like the title track, but I do like National Anthem. That's pretty much all I like from this album. The rest of it is just kind of middle, mediocre-ish to okay. Like, it's not bad, but it doesn't really pique my interest whatsoever. I don't really find that interesting when it's not. I like Radiohead's sound more on OK Computer because I think it brings out more emotion than this album does. I think it brings out more unique, like Noah said, the synthesizer work is a bit harder. They do a bit more guitar leaning in it, and it's less bad singing in my opinion from Mr.
That's his best album, luckily.
No.
Yep.
No, from Mr. York. But overall, it is certainly not a bad album. I go a little higher than Noah. I give it an 8 out of 10. All right, on to In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. Haha, it's in their title. Progressive rock album. Who wants to go?
All right, fine.
All right.
I'll go. This is probably the first progressive rock album, and this is still the closest that they've gotten to making a perfect album in that genre. This is quite the beauty, quite whimsical, if I do say so.
Whimsical.
I do think the
Little
lyrics.
whimsy.
The lyrics are quite whimsical,
A little bit of the whimsy.
and it helps with that mellotron sound. I think adds that.
I
And
can
I
see
like
his
the
little.
vibe. His uvula.
Yeah, I can see his uvula.
Yes, you can.
Yep.
Every song on this thing is perfect except for Moonchild, which starts off really good and then just gets into nothingness. But in total, this album is very good. It is a... What did I give you? I gave you a 9.
A 9. There it is. Okay. I'll go next real quick. This was the very first King Crimson album I ever listened to, and the main reason I ever listened to it, almost fell out my chair, is because 21st Century Schizoid Man is a fantastic song that is sampled by my good goat sampler in Kanye West. One of the greatest sampling, if not the greatest sample of all time usage-wise. Epitaph is fucking heat. Moonshot is fucking heat. Core of the Crimson
What?
is fucking heat. I Talk to the Wind is fucking
8
heat.
minutes of Moonchild where nothing happens.
I don't give a fuck. It is heat. I think 21st Century Schizoid Man clearly carries this album though.
Nope.
Absolutely does. Epitaph is a hard number 2, a very hard number 2. It is a fantastic progressive rock album. It is their best album, King Crimson's, that is. I deeply enjoy every song on this, except I don't really love Moonchild. I should say that.
You,
Call it bop.
Well, it's like a 7 out of 10, all right?
this
That's a bop.
motherfucker just goes, Moonchild bugs. I don't really like Moonchild.
I mean, I don't love Moonchild, I should say. Okay?
Make up your fucking mind about Moonchild. Have
think
you ever heard
Moonchild.
it before?
I've heard the whole album. I think Moonchild's a 7 out of 10. I think the whole album is really good, though. It really, it opened my mind to progressive rock in a way I had never heard. I only heard Floyd, and this was very different in a really unique way, which I thought was cool. Very art rocky. I don't exactly know what the guitar tones were on this, what you would call them, but I really liked the guitars on this album quite a lot. Huh?
Krog.
Well, sure, but I feel like there's a way of like, fine, prog. The guitar tones on this album really stood out to me, and just the setups to the way they would do their vocals was fantastic. All that being said, 9 out of 10.
Oh, really? One more? Yeah, I mean, this is another one of those masterpieces. I pretty much agree with everything Noah said. I would say my favorite song here is definitely Epitaph, followed closely by 21st Century Schizoid Man. But yeah, if Moonchild was just like add more to it, or they could have just cut it off right after they stopped with the actual like lyrical part of the song, and then divulge into like that. I don't even know what you would call it. But just whatever happens in the last 8 or 9 minutes of Moonchild. If they just cut that off, could be looking at a 10 for this thing. That's really how good it is. Yeah, I don't really have much to add. I'm just 9.5.
9.5. Bada bing, bada fucking boom. All right, we are into the top 5. Number 5, we have Madvillainy by Madvillain, also known as MF Doom, and some other guy.
Madvillain is Madvillain is MF Doom and Madlib.
Okay, Madvillain and yeah, that guy. All right, Cole, do the work.
Well, this thing is fucking rad. This is like one of the most creative and fun hip hop albums ever made. I mean, this thing, the sampling is out of control on this thing in the best way possible. Every moment is just so impressive of how they made all of this work together in this big just collage of beats and lyrics and samples and all sorts of shit coming at you from different angles and whatever. I mean, it's so absurdly fucking creative. The lyrics are so damn awesome. The way something about the way he rhymes things that I find to be hilarious. I could never say enough good things about the instrumentals here. They're incredibly catchy. Samples are ridiculous. MF Doom is just on his absolute game on this one. And I think it's MF Doom's best album for sure. I think it's definitely better than Food. Some of my absolute favorite rap songs are on this thing, like Raid and Accordion and All Caps. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this album that hasn't been said by a million people on YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, this is like definitely in my top 3 best hip hop albums of all time. I'm feeling it. Easy 10.
Wow. All right, Noah.
All right, yeah, this is a cool album right here. Not exactly many albums like it. I think it goes on a little bit longer than I would prefer it to. I'm not a fan of... I don't like when albums are just like a ton of short songs. I'd rather have an album full of long songs, but that's just me. But I do like some a lot. My favorite songs probably Raid. I enjoy this album quite a bit. I mean, not much to say after Cole really just
laced them up for you.
Yeah, I am feeling a very admirable 8.5.
Admirable 8.5.
This thing just feels like an explosion of creativity.
I agree.
Boy, time to ruin the mood. So I do enjoy this album for what it does, which is hip hop. I don't love the concept of this album. That's where first off, right where I start, I don't love the concept of this album. I don't love the comic book theme of it. It has its moments, sure, but ultimately I think it just kind of it's a little overplayed in the comic book theme throughout the entire album. I do like the opening track, The Illest Villains. I think it's quite good. I do like Raid, but the best track is America's Most Wanted. That's easily the best track on this album. Not even fucking close. It's the only one that uses record scratches properly, in my opinion. And the only one that's really beyond outside of sure, you got some tracks which like Rhinestone Cowboy, which are kind of nice to hear, and all the effects and the vocal effects and all the changes they do throughout. They're nice to hear, sure, but they're really, to my style, of I guess listening to music, it doesn't really do much for me. He is a good lyricist, but he raps off flow quite a lot.
His flow is awesome.
I don't love his
He
flow.
just hits beats at different times than you would normally expect rappers
yes,
to, and I think it adds an awesome level of uniqueness to it.
No, I think it to me it wears it down a bit. It makes it it doesn't succeed in the way I think it should, and it really, even though the comic book theme to it with all the different sound effects that he uses, even though the experimental changes throughout the album, especially in the last half, like Figaro. Figaro's a good song. I do like that one. All that said, he's a good lyricist. I just wish he was a better rapper, if that makes sense.
Really a rapper.
Above all else, 6 out of 10. All right, moving on. Number 4, In Rainbows, Radiohead. I have no fucking clue how this album is above Kid A, but Noah, the floor is yours.
Wow. I don't think Radiohead has any albums that are a 10, but I think this is the closest they ever got. I love every single song on this album except for probably Fast Arc. This has easily some of my favorite Radiohead songs in general, like 15 Step, Weird Fishes, Nude, Body Snatchers, and probably their best one, Reckoner. This is just a sweet little piece of Radiohead and music in general. This is their best, in my opinion, blend
Some
of
good head.
of guitar Radiohead and the more electronic Radiohead. I think it's the best of both worlds. I would give this a 9.5.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna take us back down to earth on this one. It definitely has some good moments. You mentioned some of them: Body Snatchers, Weird Fishes. You didn't even Reckoner. I actually like Videotape. I think it's a good
That's a
song.
good one. I like that one a lot.
I like.
Fucking beautiful.
I do enjoy Nude. I don't like All I Need. I don't like Fostarp. I don't like House of Cards. I don't like Jigsaw Falling into Place.
Whoa!
15 Step is a good it's a good starter, but overall the biggest downside to this album is definitely the fact that they lean so heavy into the synth. The synth on this album is so overwhelming to me that even on this and Tom York, for as good as Tom York can be, my goodness, on this album does he sound bitchy and
I think he sounds the best on
screechy.
this.
No, I think this is where he
Second
sounds
best
the
vocal
worst.
performances.
No, this is the worst. He leans into
it's not.
the bad parts of OK Computer, where he does lean into too much, like, of the vocal things that he does odd. He leans into it maximized on this, and
I don't know what you're listening to.
no, I don't like that part of it. I do like the guitar work quite a lot on this album, though. But I can't really get past the other issues, so 6 out of 10. Cole.
Well, we're going right back up to where Noah was.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because this album's a masterpiece.
No, god
Um,
damn it, bro. What the fuck?
Only topped by one Radiohead album, in my opinion. I mean, the only real issue I have with this album is that I think Faust Harper is really boring. Other than
True.
that, this thing is fucking flawless, in my opinion. I mean, I think Reckoner is their best song. Videotape is amazing.
Weird Fish is easily the best song. Easily.
No,
Nah,
Yeah,
Reckoner
it's
is better.
so Reckoner.
No, it's Weird Fish.
Weird Fishes is probably second. Jigsaw is great. Body Snatch is really good. 15 Step is awesome. Nude is great. I mean, production wise, this thing is just like you'd be hard pressed to be able to produce an album better than this. Yeah, I pretty much disagree with everything that Noah said. I'm feeling a 9.5.
Okay. That's just wrong. Sorry. It's number 3, though. It's the third of the trifecta.
It's easily number 2.
All right, we are into the top 3 albums from RateYourMusic.com. Number 3, we have "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. You know what? Let me start this one out, all right? Because I'm about to bring the heat. I fucking love this album. This is the best Pink Floyd album. I mean, it is extremely close with Animals. 1A, 1B type of joint, but this is amazing progressive rock right here. There is not a song that misses. I know Cole's going to say Welcome to the Machine misses. I disagree. The title track is amazing. Amazing song. Shine on You Crazy Diamond is a great way to end it with a little, the parts. I like the part 1 through 5. I like part 6 through 9. Have a Cigar is one of their best songs they ever wrote in their entire life. It's so emotional and yet it has hard rock moments to it, which is fantastic, and I love that part as well. There is not a single miss on this. It is a 10. Whoops. Noah.
Wow. Ain't this good?
You're damn right.
Yeah, this album for me doesn't exactly have any misses. This album is quite perfect. That's all. This is perfect. This sounds
Okay.
way perfect, and somehow it doesn't even manage to be Pink Floyd's best album.
It is, but barely. Barely.
Even then, you can say that, but like the fact they have 2 albums perfect that came out back to back is, I think, it's just insane. But yeah, this is 10.
Cole.
Yeah, I agree. This is a 10. I do think that this is Pink Floyd's second best album. I don't know why you think I think Welcome to the Machine is a miss. I like that song.
You've mentioned it before as something that's not a great. I mean, I swear.
I wouldn't say it's a great song, but it is a good song.
Okay.
Yeah, I just returned to, I find myself wanting to return to Animals more than this one, which is why I would say it's better.
And I reverse that. I find myself running to turn this one more than Animals.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible album. It's an absolute masterpiece. Shining Crazy Diamond is one of the best songs they ever wrote. I mean, yeah, y'all pretty much covered it. 10 out of 10.
All right, there we go.
All right,
Give
me 1 second. I gotta do something real quick.
There's only 2 left.
Get over it.
Oh my god.
Alright, we can just talk.
Okay. Well, for the record, this is the final 2 we have left here.
Yep. The journey is almost over.
It is all 50 albums reviewed and rated. Well, we still have to put them in order, the real order, not this bullshit rate your music order that they tried to force upon us.
Yeah, so continue.
All right, OK Computer, Radiohead, absolute heat. I don't know why I said it. I didn't have that as a 10. There we go. An absolute 10, easy 10. I fucking love this album. From start to finish, the only thing that is not like 10 worthy would be Climbing Up the Walls. I don't love that song, but from start to finish, and Subterranean Homesick Alien's a little whiffy. I know Cole doesn't like Exit Music or whatever. Or no, he does like that one. What's the one he doesn't like?
Fitter Happier.
Fitter Happier, that's it, yes. From start to finish, though, I truly think this is the best Radiohead album. I do believe that it is. I like the way Tom York sounds on this. That is a controversial opinion, I know, but I really do like the way he sounds on all the songs. I even like the little effects he puts on his voice at different times. I love the guitar playing on this album. There's really not much to say about it that I don't like. Minus like. It's not a perfect album, but it's a really, really good, solid, and I think it deserves a 10 from me.
All right. Yeah, this right here, good album. All right, it's track list.
Oh yeah.
Yes. All right. Airbag it's all right. Paranoid Android, amazing. Subterranean Homoscalian, that's all right. Exit Music, very good. Letdown, very good. Karma Police, very good.
Yep.
They're Happier, fucking shouldn't exist. Electioneering,
Okay.
Climbing Up the Walls, really good. No surprises, extremely good. Lucky is okay. The Tourist, very, very, very good.
Yes.
Like this album a lot. Just some songs sound a bit samey, but the ones that don't are fucking really good. So in total, I'm thinking an 8.5.
Oh, I knew it's not your favorite, but that's low. That's some
Yep.
low shit.
I
Okay.
just don't think they have any perfect albums.
I mean, I don't think they have a perfect album, true, but I do think they have a 10 though. It's just one though. And it's gone up since I first heard it too. So I mean, it didn't start as a 10. It started like as an 8, and nothing for Radiohead for me started as a 10. To be fair though, it was like, or nothing was even close. It was like the first one I listened to was Kid A, and that was like a 6, and then I moved it up a bit. But yeah, this started as an 8. It's gone up to a 10 just from listening to it enough. Wow, number 1 for 1997 and number 2 overall. That's true. All right, have to wait a second here though.
Yep.
Because
Are we
Cole's a
gonna-
little bitch. What's up?
We got a spitball. We got a pause. What are we gonna
I mean, we could guess what his pick is, but we already know what it is, for the most part.
do? Well, I don't know what his rating's gonna be, but I know I'm going to tell him that you said you don't like Climbing Up the Walls that much. Because he likes, I think it's one of his favorite Radiohead songs.
I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I think it's a little overrated. I think I have it on my playlist. I do.
Wow.
I mean, you can be a little overrated, and I still enjoy putting you on my playlist. I still can do it. So.
That's fair. I am looking forward to hearing him get really mad at Fitter Happier.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost expected at this point.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, I don't really know the reason why he doesn't consider this like a better album, but he does enjoy it for the most part. I know Exit Music is one of his favorite songs, I believe.
Should be. Fucking banger. Really dramatic.
It is very dramatic, you're right.
I returned.
Welcome back.
All right, well, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Okay, computer. What a moderately overrated album.
Okay.
First things first, let me just say, Ryan said he doesn't like.
No.
I'm not. Let me finish. I know what he said. He said he doesn't like climbing up the walls that much. All right. Yeah.
I said it's a little overrated.
That's my favorite song on this album.
Oh my fucking god. The best song on this album is easily Karma, Please. And that's their best song, period, by Radiohead.
Disagreed.
Yeah, I don't fuck with either of those statements at all.
Oh my god.
I think this is a really good album with a lot of issues, similarly to Pink Floyd's The Wall, Kanye West's Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. There's a really good album in here with a lot of flaws around it. The biggest one, I believe, would be Tom York's vocal performances at times are just, in my opinion, some of them are just straight up bad. He sounds incredibly flat vocally on a lot of these songs, unfortunately. And instrumentally speaking, I just don't think that this is the thing Radiohead does the best, which is like mostly guitar-driven rock, heavily guitar-driven rock. I think they're a lot better at much more art rock than alternative rock.
See, that's what I disagree. Is like I think the guitar-driven rock on, I think, as you put it, guitar-driven rock on this is what they nailed on this. I think the guitar part of this was fantastic. I wish they did more on there.
I mean, some moments it's really good. Other moments, not nearly as much. Like Electioneering, I think is just incredibly mediocre. And Fitter Happier is a complete waste of 2 minutes and a waste of everybody's time. The song is pointless and should just be cut off the album. I don't really like Tom's vocals on Airbag either. But there are some of Radiohead's best moments on here, like Climbing Up the Walls, No Surprises, Karma Police, Paranoid Android, Exit Music. Letdowns up there as well. A lot of great highlights on here. And then a lot of moments that I do not care for at all. Overall, feeling about an 8.5 on OK Computer.
Oh my god, you fucking losers tied again on Radiohead. Jesus Christ. Okay, we finally made it to the #1 Rate Your Music album as they have rated of all time, To Pimp a Butterfly by Mr. Kendrick Lamar, aka K. Dot. #1 for his year and #1 currently rated on overall. Who wishes to go?
You want me to go first? I'll go first.
All right, cool.
I've never heard a better hip hop album in my life. This is fun. It's just. I mean, maybe it's like the biggest hip hop album ever made, and the most successful in this one as well, because any microscopic things about good humans that I don't like are thrown to the side, completely thrown away, and just this unbelievable sense of songwriting, instrumental ambition, lyricism that is so fucking good. It stuns me. I've heard this album 100 times, and I'm still completely blown away by the lyricism here.
Yep.
The instrumentals feel so incredibly natural. They have such a fantastic progression to them. They move so seamlessly. The production is retardedly good. All of this while the songs are still insanely catchy. I would put this in the same group of albums like Remain in Light and Antennas, where it's just like I'm completely obsessed and addicted to this album. I find endless things to praise about it, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's everything about it is absolutely perfect to me, and I'm absolutely feeling a 10. One of the greatest albums ever made.
I will go next. So I wasn't shit talking this album. I would never shit talk this album. This album is fucking damn near flawless. I love this album. It is incredible. I do think it's his second best, which is say a lot when you're arguing over 2 10s, which by the way this album is. Everything you said pretty much is true. Is incredibly catchy. Is one of the, if not the catchiest song of all time, one of the catchiest songs of all time on it. All Right is on it. You is on it. I is on it. Blacker the Berry is on it. How Much a Dollar Costs. With Politics. Institutionalized. Wesley's Theory. For Free. King Kunta. I mean, the list just is so immaculate. It is probably the great. I will agree with one thing you said. It is probably the greatest lyrical album of all time. Or the second greatest lyrical album of all time. And it is Kendrick's best lyrical album of all time. I'll say that. I do think Good Kid, Mad City is better on the other things. But as a storytelling album, it is fucking fantastic. He is peak storytelling. It is the greatest storytelling album you could that's ever existed. There's so many different flows on this album. It's actually almost hard to name, like, even talk about it, because there's so many different styles, so many different rap styles he chooses, so many different genre styles for rapping he chooses. But he's a hip hop artist at the base, and this is where he thrives, I guess would be the right word here, the most. It is fantastic from almost start to finish. I just don't love Mama. That is the only song I don't love.
Oh my god, I am obsessed with Mama.
I don't love
I adore. It's got so much soul in it.
I don't love Mama. If I loved Mama, it would probably be the best.
It's so smooth.
I disagree.
And the bass line is fantastic. And the soul samples are amazing.
But besides all that, this is an absolute heater of an album. Do I believe it should be number 1? No. But it could be number 3 or 4 easily, and I would have no issue with it. Absolute fire. 10 out of 10. Noah.
So yeah. So everything Cole said, I agree. Because it's true and accurate. Because this is the best hip-hop album.
No, it's not.
This is a beautiful 10 out of 10.
All right. 3 10s to end out at number 1. So there we have it. We have rated every single album. All 50 on top Rate Your Music's top albums of all time. There they are. Now, we are going to put them all in order.
I'm going insane.
We're not done yet, bitches.
Fucking ass hurts.
We're not done yet. It has been, how long have I been recording for? It's oh my god, it restarted the recording at one point. Holy shit, because it was so long. It is 3.5 hours we've been, and we are finished yet, motherfuckers. All right, who wants to start their reading?
I'll go.
I'm not writing it down. Just go.
All right, number 50, Velvet Underground and Nico.
Kill yourself. Absolutely obliterate your asshole.
49, The Queen is Dead. 4.5. Oh my god. 48, Blonde. 5 out of 10. Okay. 47, Hounds of Love. 5.5. 46,
Brutal.
Yep.
Homogenic. 5.5.
Fair.
45, Spiderland. 6 out of 10.
I understand that one.
44, Souvlaki. 6.5.
Okay.
43, Illmatic. 6.5.
You need to have your cranium checked.
42,
That's a wild one.
Enter the Wu-Tang.
Oh my god.
7 out of 10.
What is happening?
41, Kid A. 7 out of 10.
What?
40, Sergeant Peppers. 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. 39, Dummy, 7 out of 10. 38, The Glow Part 2, 7.5 out of 10.
Upsetting.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. Get ready to get more upset. 37, Vespertine, 7.5 out of 10.
Upsetting.
Wow.
Oh, you found that upsetting? Get ready to get more upset. 36, In a Silent Way.
More upsetting.
Get ready to get more upset.
There's no way it gets
Why do you
worse.
hate me?
35, F sharp, A sharp. 8 out of 10.
I wanna cry.
Oh my god.
34, Loveless, 8 out of 10.
That's a bad rating.
33, Kinda Blue, 8 out of 10.
Wow.
32, College Dropout, 8 out of 10.
Fair rating.
31, Atrocity Exhibition, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
30, Songs in the Key of Life, 8 out of 10. 29,
Wow.
no, it's not. 29, Paranoid, 8 out of 10. 28, Revolver, 8 out of 10. 27, Igor, 8.5 out of 10.
You were so close to my rating.
26, OK Computer,
Oh
8.5 out of 10. 25, Red, 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
24, I Love Supreme, 8.5 out of 10. 23, Ziggy Stardust, 8.5.
Low high.
22, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, 8.5. 21, Black Saint and the Sinner Lady, 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
20, The Money Store, 8.5 out of 10. 19, Disintegration, 8.5 out of 10. 18, Low End Theory, 8.5 out of 10.
That's high.
17, Madvillainy, 8.5 out of 10. 16, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, 9 out of 10. 15, Pet Sounds, 9 out of 10. 14, Unknown Pleasures, 9 out of 10. 13,
Oh.
Heaven or Las Vegas.
Oh my fucking
9 out of
god.
10.
Oh my fucking god.
Boom.
12, Long Season, 9 out of 10.
Wow.
11, Remain in Light, 9 out of 10. 10, Abbey Road, 9 out of 10. 9, In the Court of the Crimson King, 9 out of 10.
Wow.
8, Dark Side of the Moon, 9
Wow.
out of 10. 7,
High.
In Rainbows, 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
6, Good Kid, Mad City,
Oh.
9.5 out of 10. 5, Pink Moon, Nick Drake.
Oh my fucking
10 out
god.
of 10.
Oh my fucking god. That's not real. That is not fucking
Wild.
real. That is not a real ranking I just heard.
4, Wish You Were Here, 10 out of 10.
Hey, we agree.
3, Animals, 10 out of 10.
There.
2, To Pimp a Butterfly, 10 out of 10.
What the fuck is one?
1, I don't know how you don't know. Lift Your Skinny Fist,
Oh.
10 out of 10.
Okay, I should have known. Holy shit, you had some awful ratings there. That was monumentally
That
terrible.
was a fucking marathon.
Alright, I'll go next. Number 50, Homogenic, 4 out of 10. 49, Queen is Dead, 4 out of 10.
Wow.
I'm not going to say out of 10, I'm just going to go. Souvlaki, 5. The Glow Part 2, 6. Unknown Pleasures, 6. Madvillainy, 6. Heaven or Las Vegas. Oh, sorry. We're at 44. Heaven or Las Vegas, 6. 43, Dummy, 6. 42, Spiderland, 6. 41, Money Store, 6. 40, In Rainbow, 6. 39, oh, no, that's not in the wrong spot because that says 30. That says the same thing I already had.
I really have problems with this. I don't understand.
Yeah,
what's
I
wrong with
don't. You're right.
it. It's just reading.
I know, but it's Unknown Pleasures is on there twice for some
It's
reason.
basic reading comprehension.
It's on there twice, so that's a fuck up. I'm just going to 38. F sharp, A sharp, 7. 37, Blonde, 7. 36, Pink Moon, 7. 35, Into the Wu-Tang, 7. 34, Atrocity Exhibition, 7. 33, Disintegration, 7. 32, Aeroplane Over the Sea, 8. 31, Long Season, 8. 30, Sgt. Pepper, 8. 29, Ziggy Stardust, 8. 28, Igor, 8. 27, Songs in the Key of Life, 8. 26, Velvet Underground and Nico, 8. 25, Low End Theory, 8. 24, Kid A, 8. 23, Remain in Light, 8. 22, Vespertine, 9. 21, College Dropout, 9. 20, Pet Sounds, 9. 19, In the Court of the Crimson King, 9. 18, Paranoid, 9. 17, Red, 9. 16, In a Silent Way, 9. 15, Revolver, 9. 14, Dark Side of the Moon, 9. 13, Loveless, 9. 12, Hounds of Fucking Love, you fucking retard.
Loser.
10, 11, A Love Supreme, 10. 10, OK Computer, also a 10. 9, Kind of Blue, 10. All the rest are 10s, FYI, if you couldn't figure that out. 7, Lift Your Skinny Fist Like Antennas to Heaven. 6, Animals. 5, Illmatic. 4, Wish You Were Here. 3, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. 2, T-Pab. 1, Good Kid, Mad Motherfucking City.
Oh God.
Bangers. Oh, and Black Sin the Singer Lady got fucked up, but it should be it would be between Hounds of Love and A Love Supreme. So like 12, 11, right around there. There you go.
Alrighty. Well,
Break it down.
I'm not gonna read my range because I already said all the ratings. So let's get through this quicker. 50, The Queen is Dead. 49, Blonde. 48, Spiderland. 47, Sgt. Pepper. 46, Unknown Pleasures. 45, Souvlaki. 44, Aeroplane Over the Sea. 43, Atrocity Exhibition. 42, Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. 41, Igor.
What the fuck?
40, Disintegration. 39, Red. 38, Love Supreme. 37, Heaven or Las Vegas.
Okay, fair.
36, Homogenic. 35, Hounds of Love.
Hell yeah.
34, Low End Theory. 33,
God.
Dummy. 32, Pink Moon.
There we go.
31, Revolver.
Oh.
30, OK Computer.
Oh.
29, College Dropout.
Okay.
28, Loveless.
Oh.
27, Velvet Underground and Nico.
Okay.
26, Pet Sounds.
Okay.
25, Wu-Tang. 24, Paranoid. 23, Vespertine. 22, Songs in the Key of Life. 21, Long Season. 20, Black Saint the Sinner Lady. 19, Abbey Road. 18, Court of the Crimson King. 17, Ziggy Stardust. 16, Dark Side of the Moon. 15, F Sharp A Sharp Infinity. 14,
Wow.
The Money Store.
Oh my God.
13, In Rainbows. 12, Good Kid, Mad City. 11, Wish You Were Here.
There's no way! I just heard that right!
You just heard that.
There's 11 10.
No fucking
So it's the
way.
closest one to a 10 that's not a 10. Because there's 11 10s.
Oh my God. Keep going. I don't
Did I say 11 Wish You Were Here?
Yeah.
I did now.
Oh
10,
my
In the
God.
Silent Way.
Oh
9, The Glow Part 2.
There's no universe! The Glow Part 2 is better than Good Kid! Holy no! Oh my God!
I don't agree, but that was pretty funny. You could
That is the most fucking retarded thing you've ever actually. That's your new
I
most
don't know how
retarded
this is
rating.
surprising you. I gave The Glow Part 2 a 10 while we were doing
Oh
Yeah,
my
you-
God!
no,
I
you
don't
were-
remember that. I don't remember that. Oh my God! That just happened.
8, Illmatic. 7, Kid A.
No! Kitty is not paranormatic! Oh my God! Keep going.
6, Madvillainy. 5, Kind of Blue. 4, Remain in Light. 3, Animals. 2, To Pimp a Butterfly. 1, Intense.
Mhm.
Oh
I knew no matter
my
what, we were going to have the
fucking
same top three.
God! Oh my fucking God! That is your new most retarded statement you have
That
ever
was pretty
made.
good.
Oh my God!
Well, I sure as hell agree with his more than yours.
You're fucking autistic. All right, that is Rate Your Music's top 50 albums of all time, rated, reviewed, and ranked. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe below. This took 3.5 hours of recording time, and we will see you in the next podcast.